I've been sort of a design aficionado most of my adult life, and I wanted a house that in some way or another was a little unconventional. I like being outside. I mean, I never want to spend a whole day inside. And, if you can't see the outside, it's not really there. Many people are used to living in a house that has much smaller windows, much less exposure. But for me, I have to live in a house that has a lot of light, and you can't have light without windows. I've never lived in an architect-designed home. I've never lived in a new home or custom-built home. I've always bought homes designed by other people. And so this was an opportunity when we came back to Minneapolis to hire an architect, work with a builder, and create our own space. This location in this neighborhood called Seward, which is on the west bank of the Mississippi, appealed to me because it's close to the river and the recreational opportunities. I like to bike, I like to run, and both of those things I can do out the front door of my house.
In this house, we're surrounded by glass, and we look out over the parkway, which is pretty active, which I really like. I like seeing the slice of humanity. And as I've been walking the neighborhood and people recognize me and have come up to me and said, "Oh, you're the people in the house with all the windows. We love your house."
Yeah, people are impressed by the windows,
they really
one way or
are.
another.
Yeah.
This home is unique in the sense that the architects took the traditional layout of a home with your main living spaces, such as your kitchen, your living room, and your dining room on the main floor, and inverted it and threw it upstairs on the second floor, which allowed you to have those spaces as great views out into the River Parkway, out towards the Mississippi River, with no obstructions of cars, other houses. And then on the main floor, we've kind of come back down to a primary suite and followed by 2 guest bedrooms. When it came to selecting a window manufacturer for the project, we had to consider several different items. Part of it was the size of the windows and how we're going to integrate them with the modern design that the architects provided. The Marvin Modern product provides clean, slimline solutions and simple components that allow us to merge other materials with it seamlessly. And then the second benefit to all this was we were introduced to Marvin Connected Home. Marvin Connected Home is an automated application that allows you to operate a window that might otherwise be inoperable. It was important that we had this opportunity to create air movement through the house, and with Marvin Connected Home, not only were we able to achieve that airflow, but do it in a way that met the goals of the homeowners.
Because of how high the awning windows are, the options that were presented were the motorized windows that could open with a wireless device, or some mechanical option, which, from what I understand, would involve either getting up on a ladder, completely impractical, wasn't going to do that, or perhaps some kind of rod that dangled down, and that also was unappealing. It just, aesthetically and practically speaking, made sense to have windows that could be opened by a
Remotely.
motor. By a motor, yeah.
Yeah.
The Marvin Connected Home product really allows this house to live and breathe as more of a traditional passive home. Having the awning windows up high really allows the homeowners to let heat out and cool the space. Cooling is one of the larger energy-consuming pieces in an HVAC system, and so if we can eliminate that and let nature do its thing by moving some hot air out naturally, from a passive perspective, it allows heat to be escaped from the house.
All the windows are operated by either a wall switch or the app, because I don't like the idea of keeping the house completely closed when it's cool and rainy out. I like having windows open. And so it's nice to have windows that can be open.
The thing I like most about this house and these windows is that lets in a ton of natural light, and I'm really happy that that's the way it turned out. It wasn't always obvious to me that you could build a house in Minnesota that would incorporate the things I like. But once it was done and the windows were in, I mean, walking up here for the first time, I was still blown away. I like coming into this space, and it was a surprise the first time, and it's still kind of a surprise every time I come up the stairs. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. And it is.